All right, so I am Duster Donhorst here with Treebeard and Bonnie Zacherle, and we are going to introduce. We would introduce her, but I think it's better if you say what your part in My Little Pony is.
My part is I was the creator of the very first My Little Pony, all 6 of them, and My Pretty Pony before that.
Okay, so yeah, I remember we actually were going to ask about My Pretty Pony and My Little Pony put together.
Okay.
So just an easy question to start off. Favorite pony out of all of them?
The pink one.
The pink one?
I have no favorites really. I like them all. It's like a mother saying which child is your favorite. You can't answer that.
All right, just going into the fan base a little bit. When you first created My Little Pony, how did you expect it to go from there?
Well, when you're a toy designer, you have low expectations because it takes so long to develop a toy, to even get it to market, and once it's in the market, to sell it 1 year, 2 years, or 3 is even considered a success. So I was just hoping that it would do well, and it went way beyond my expectations, needless to say, 33 years later.
Yeah, G1 lasted 9-10 years, I believe.
Did it really?
I could be off, but I'm just judging it because I had them when I was a kid. So.
10 years. 10 years.
10 years.
Let's say 10. It's a nice round number.
All right. So, do you have any follow-ups?
I do actually. When you were getting training at Syracuse, what sort of things what sort of art styles influenced you as you went along, and what things sort of stuck as you progressed through your career?
Well, at Syracuse, truthfully, what influenced me more than the teachers were my fellow students, because there were quite a few of them that were excellent cartoonists, and they did things for the school paper and for other things, and I kind of learned some techniques from them. Actually, my illustrator instructor, who's probably not there or anywhere now, he was a good illustrator, but he illustrated hams and things like that, and I thought, this is not the kind of illustration I want to do.
That's a very specific area.
Well, that's all I remember. He showed us, and he was very proud of his ham illustration. I'm
Look
sure
at
it's
this
very,
ham. You could eat it off the
ham. I'm sure. It was hard to draw a ham or eat one. More than that, all sweaty. But anyway, I digress.
How did you choose an art direction for My Little Pony when first designing it on paper?
It was supposed to be a preschool toy, and my ideal was a realistic but yet stylized pony.
I saw the prototypes of those.
And it's kind of a combination of the two. My bend now would be to go more in the style of the TV show. I love the great colors and the lines, and it's very bold. Whereas of course my drawing in the beginning was not so bold, but and the sculpture was very static and had no movement at all. But I was going for realistic yet stylized and cute and sweet and appealing. No, but your question again about Syracuse, we were just talking about influences, and Walt Disney was probably one of my heroes. And when I was in school, as a matter of fact, I believe he was still alive, and he was on the list of commencement speakers.
Really?
And he got my vote for #1. But we had Walter Cronkite instead.
Oh man, we got the wrong Walt.
Yeah, exactly. Walt, but not the one I wanted. I think his daughter graduated that year. That's why we.
Oh.
I would have preferred Walt Disney.
Oh yeah. And the later ones, we had Generation 2, 3, and now we're on to 4. As you see the line progress from your original view to now, what are your thoughts on how it evolved and how it evolved stylistically and artistically?
Well, I only did the first 6, which was probably the easiest design job there was. It gets harder as you go along to think of new ideas, new poses, new colors. There are only so many colors, face it, and color combinations. So each succeeding generation, I think it gets more difficult to keep the ideal going, but yet progress and make it, morph into something more interesting and different from the generation before. So I think, some of them I thought were really well done. Others I didn't care so much for the teenage-looking ponies. I thought that digressed a bit much from the original idea. And in a way, I think this latest generation has kind of gone back to the soft and round and friendly, style.
I'm not an artist yet. Well, kind of am, but
don't be modest. People are buying your stuff.
I know people are buying my stuff.
You're officially an artist if they're buying your stuff.
Yeah. So I've been told that like the circles and the rounder shapes are the more friendly, inviting ones. And watching Friendship is Magic now and seeing the fan base around it, did you think those two would get along so well?
I was familiar with children's animated shows on Saturday morning TV and especially ones that were created by toy companies and things like that, Mickey Hasbro, and wasn't terribly impressed by the storylines or they're kind of and I watched them, some of them, but they were not engaging plots by any means. But after watching the latest show, I think these are real issues, and I think it teaches good lessons to kids and adults, and it goes deeper than just the fluff that the early things had.
Yeah, the first I'm like the Rescue at Midnight Castle, the original going back to the cartoon. Rather dark in comparison to what we have now. That's what I've been hearing a lot.
I am not real familiar with that, but I like the message now, and I like the overall feeling of the show itself.
Okay, and on the subject of the show, do you have a favorite episode that you have seen?
The pink one.
The pink one?
You can never go wrong with the pink.
I'm going to stick with that.
The pink one.
I do enjoy the pink one.
And now with the fan base, looking at what fan base has come out of it, what would be your favorite aspect that has come out of the My Little Pony fan base today?
Well, I think it's nice because it's kind of a vehicle for people getting together and making friends by having something in common that they can talk about and discuss and that they really like. I think that's very important.
All right, so do you have anything else that you want to add?
You can't see my face.
Yeah, you can't see his face.
He has his thinking face on.
Yeah. Normally he's our interview guy.
Oh.
You're the Generation 1 person. Go!
Let's see.
And actually, I'm sorry, I do have one. So you're an art teacher now.
Yes.
Do you bring in any influences from your childhood or your time designing toys into the classroom?
Well, I do bring Pony into the classroom. I give lessons on how to draw at least my pony. And Mr. Potato Head is actually easier to draw.
Yeah.
And that's one of my first lessons for the younger kids is to make their own potato head. And then later on in the school year, I actually brought in potatoes and they made their own potato heads, but the boys mostly did potato aliens with pipe cleaners coming out of them. And they're really neat because like the real number one generation, Mr. Potato Head, they kind of shrink down and get petrified, and they're very ghoulish, if they don't start smelling. It's a fine line between smelling and petrification.
I want to take your art class. That sounds fun.
It is fun. They like it. I like it too.
All right, so I don't know if we're out of time.
We are if you're out of questions.
looks like we can wrap up and let you get to where you need to be.
Okay.
This has been Bonnie Zacherle, the creator of the original 6 My Little Ponies back in 1982, I want to say. And I've been Duster Dawn Horse with Treebeard at my side, and we've been Hoof-Hearted. So thank you so much for giving us some time.
Very nice.
And
Thank you very much. It's been an honor.
Happy to be here.
And thank you for my childhood. Actually, I have a photo of me at 5 years old with a big handful of
Good
Generation
for
Bug
you.
ponies.
Good for you.
All right, we've been Hoof-Hearted, and we'll catch y'all later.